Have you ever wondered how we keep our pets, livestock, and even wildlife safe from invisible dangers? I'm not talking about predators lurking in the shadows, but something much smaller and potentially more widespread. Toxins, from a curious dog ingesting something they shouldn't have, to protecting our food supply. There's a fascinating world of science working behind the scenes. Today, we're diving into the incredible field of analytical chemistry and its crucial role in detecting toxins in animals. So, what exactly is analytical chemistry? Think of it as the ultimate detective work of the science world. It's all about figuring out what something is made of and how much of it is there. When it comes to animal health, this becomes a life-saving tool. Imagine a farmer notices several of their cows are suddenly sick. Is it a disease, or could it be something in their feed? This is where the analytical chemists step in. They can take samples of the feed, the water, and even biological samples from the sick animals, like blood or urine. Using highly sophisticated instruments, they can screen for a huge range of potential culprits. We're talking about things like mycotoxins, which are toxic compounds produced by certain types of mold that can grow on grains like corn and wheat. Even in tiny amounts, these can cause serious health problems for livestock. The technology used is truly mind-blowing. Techniques like liquid chromatography, coupled with mass spectrometry, or LCMS for short, are workhorses in this field. Let's break that down. Chromatography is a method to separate a complex mixture into its individual components. Picture it like a race where different molecules run at different speeds through a special column. Once separated, they enter the mass spectrometer. This instrument acts like a super-precise scale for molecules, identifying each one based on its unique mass. It's so sensitive, it can detect toxins of parts per billion or even parts per trillion. That's like finding one specific grain of sand on a very, very long beach. This isn't just for farm animals. Our beloved pets are often at risk, too. We all know dogs and cats can get into things they shouldn't. Antifreeze, for example, has a sweet taste that can be attractive to them, but it contains ethylene glycol, which is extremely toxic. If a pet is rushed to the vet with suspected poisoning, a quick analysis of their blood can confirm the presence of this chemical, allowing for immediate and life-saving treatment. Similarly, if a pet ingests a human medication or a poisonous plant, analytical tests can pinpoint the exact substance, guiding the veterinarian's treatment plan. The applications extend to wildlife conservation as well. Scientists use these techniques to monitor environmental contaminants that can harm animal populations. For example, they can test the tissues of fish to measure the levels of heavy metals, like mercury, which can accumulate in the food chain. They can analyze the feathers of birds to detect exposure to pesticides. This data is vital for understanding the health of an ecosystem and for making informed decisions to protect vulnerable species from pollution. Think of a majestic eagle or a playful otter. Their survival might depend on a chemist in a lab coat hundreds of miles away. Another critical area is food safety. When you buy meat, milk, or eggs from the grocery store, you trust that it's safe to eat. Analytical chemistry is the gatekeeper that ensures this trust is well placed. Regulatory bodies set strict limits for veterinary drug residues in animal products. Why? because if an animal is treated with medication, small amounts could potentially remain in its tissues. Chemists in food safety labs regularly test products to ensure any residues are well below the safe limits, protecting public health and ensuring the integrity of our food supply. The process itself is a meticulous journey. It starts with careful sample collection and preparation. You can't just put a piece of steak or a cup of water into a multi-million-dollar machine. The sample has to be processed to extract the target toxins and remove all the other stuff, fats, proteins, sugars that could interfere with the analysis. This step is a science in itself, often involving complex extraction and cleanup procedures. It's a testament to the skill and precision of the lab technicians and chemists who perform this work every day. So, from protecting your furry best friend from household dangers to ensuring the steak on your plate is safe, to helping conserve endangered wildlife, analytical chemistry is the unsung hero. It provides the concrete data, the undeniable proof that allows veterinarians, farmers, and conservationists to make critical decisions. It turns suspicion into certainty and enables targeted action. The next time you see a healthy herd of cattle, cuddle with your healthy pet, or enjoy a meal, remember the invisible shield of science that helps make it all possible. It's a powerful reminder that sometimes the biggest impacts come from understanding the smallest things. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive into the world of toxicology and animal health. If you found this interesting, please give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you won't miss our next exploration into the wonders of science. See you in the next video. Have you ever wondered how we keep our furry friends safe from hidden dangers? From the food they eat to the water they drink and even the air they breathe, countless invisible threats exist, but how do we find something we can't even see? Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of analytical chemistry to uncover how scientists become detectives, using cutting-edge technology to protect the animal kingdom. Imagine this. A flock of birds suddenly falls ill near a farm. A group of dolphins washes ashore, or your own beloved pet becomes sick for no apparent reason. Veterinarians and wildlife biologists are on the scene, but the cause isn't obvious. This is where the analytical chemists step in. Their lab is the crime scene, and their suspects are microscopic toxins. So, what exactly are these toxins? They can be anything from heavy metals like lead and mercury, pesticides from agricultural runoff, industrial chemicals that have seeped into the environment, or even natural toxins produced by algae blooms in a lake, often called blue-green algae. These substances, even in tiny amounts, can be incredibly harmful to animals, affecting their nervous systems, organs, and overall health. The first step in any investigation is collecting evidence for our science detectives. This means gathering samples. This could be a water sample from a contaminated river, a soil sample from a field, or biological samples from the affected animals like blood, urine, or tissue. The key is to handle these samples with extreme care to avoid contamination. You wouldn't want to add your own fingerprints to the evidence, right? It's the same principle here. Once the samples are back in the lab, the real magic begins. The chemists need to isolate the needle from the haystack, the toxin from everything else in the sample. A blood sample, for example, is a complex soup of proteins, fats, sugars, and cells. The target toxin might be present in parts per million or even parts per billion. That's like finding one specific drop of ink in an entire swimming pool. To do this, they use a technique called sample preparation. This might involve using different solvents to dissolve certain parts of the sample while leaving the toxin behind, or using special filters that only allow molecules of a certain size to pass through. It's a meticulous process of cleaning and concentrating the sample until the target substance is ready for identification.